here's I'm going to tell you how this is going to work. Either you give up the tools or you go to jail tonight for theft.
Go for it. 2359.
Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 18 of the Patrol Vlogs. If you guys are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and click all for the notifications so you get notified as soon as I put these videos out. Also, if you're not already, follow me on Instagram. I'm also on the other social media platforms. All of the links for everything are right down in the show notes below. This first call we are headed to, or I'm walking up to now, is another Keep the Peace, kind of like we did last week. However, this is how they normally go, which is not simple and straightforward. Take a look.
His property, and you just agreed that they were. He's got
my property. I got his property.
Well, not to get into the whole civil thing. That was your father's property. Now these are his property. So technically, I mean, you guys got to figure that out.
I inherited it.
I know. You guys, that's all between you guys. But since you just told me those are for his tools, and he said they were his tools.
Well, they were, but he broke into my
I understand,
house.
but if they're his tools, I just would say give them back. I'll tell him about the flag, but he can't really do the whole hold it over your head.
Is he sitting up there?
Yeah, I had him stay over there so I can conversate with you. So if he doesn't.
Oh, he got his van back. Okay, got his van out. Okay, all I want is that flag, and he can have his tools.
I know, but
I bet you it's in that van right there.
I can ask him, but if he tells me no, I mean those are still his.
It's a flag? He's asking something about a flag. His dad's memorial flag. He's saying that you have it.
Oh, that was my flag. That's the family flag.
Are you guys related?
Yeah, it's my brother. My mom just passed away just recently. Okay, and the house is willed to me, and I gained access yesterday, and so we had a few cops over here.
Yeah.
And they told me since he lives here and I haven't been here for like a year,
Okay.
that I'm not legally allowed to get here or to stay here.
Right.
Because since it's a civil, they didn't want to get involved. But until I get a copy of the will and I see my name that's on the deed,
Right.
His name and my name are on the deed. Okay. Then they won't let me back into my house until I have that form that has my name on the deed.
Right. Yeah.
So now I was here yesterday changing out the locks, not knowing all this was going to happen. Right. And I had a couple tool bags in there today. Okay. Because they told me to leave the premises on the request of him. Right. And I wasn't able to get my tools. So
so you're just trying to get the tools. But so you have the flag, but you're saying that is also your flag. You're not willing to give it to him.
Yeah, that was the only thing I took from the house, and that was something that my dad, the Army vet. Okay. Yeah, it was just something. Because I have a memorabilia shelf. Right. That was something that I added to the collection of all this Army and Army stuff.
Was any of that stuff covered in the will of like who gets what? Because obviously he's saying he wants it. You know, you're saying you want it. Both of yours, because it belonged to your father who is now deceased. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird area. I just didn't know.
Correct. You know what? The lawyer I talked to yesterday, and they're mailing all of the children, 5 of us, a copy of the will within a day or two, the lawyer said. Okay. And that was yesterday. Okay. So until I get the will, I don't know
if it's specifically stated.
It's not specifically stated.
I doubt something like that would be.
No, it's just like the stocks and the bombs and the
Got it. Okay.
in the house and the bank account. That's all it's.
Okay. All right. Hang tight for just a second.
Okay.
So you guys are brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Basically, he said, he's like, I've got the flag. He's like, I took it because it's memorabilia of my father. He's like, I have a case at my house. That's where I'm going to display it. So he has it, but he says he wants it and he was going to take it. So.
No. Came over here one day, took over $5,000 in stamps. In the state, I did file a report, and the state said I needed to take a picture of everything and show a price. He doesn't know what was in that box, but anyhow, he got out of a second-degree felony like that.
Whose property was that?
Mine.
Your physical
right
property.
In here and took I got the state attorney. It's on file. They got him grabbing it, taking it, putting it in that white van right there.
Right. But I guess what I'm getting at is, since this estate, again, when it comes to any of the personal property that was removed from the house, including the flag, that's something you guys will have to deal with in probate court. But if he has his physical tools here, which we've already established are actually his tools, we stand by for what's called to keep the peace, to make sure nobody fights, curses, yells, or whatever. He picks up his stuff and then leaves.
With all these signs right here down that I had up here for him, that's for him. Because he just thinks he can do what he wants, and the Clearwater police won't arrest him for anything.
Well, here's the issue of like what he was telling me is that if the house was left to him,
no, it's in my name. It's in a trust.
He said it was in everyone's.
He said that it's him and his were on the deed. So he's waiting on some paperwork to get mailed. I'm going to tell you right now, if he brings us a deed that has his name on it as well as yours, then he can legally enter this home.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
If he has that paperwork.
Yeah, if he has that paperwork.
Oh, well, he can't change it. It's a trust. Okay, I want to see him try that because it was in a trust. It's locked down, solid, clad. Whatever's in that trust is what it says, and that's what everybody gets.
Right, and what we told him is exactly what I'm telling you, is that, yeah, at this particular time, we're not going to let him just waltz into the house on his own and claim residency, but if he has paperwork through the lawyers, if you guys, if it was all left to you as a family, then every person, every family member, your sister, whoever, has a legal right to be here if they want to be here. So if he brings paperwork saying...
We just went through this yesterday when all the police were here yesterday.
And he didn't have the paperwork.
My sister came up here with it and showed him and said, "You're the only person that can enter this house." I'm sure there's a report. There was 3 police officers.
Here's the issue. We need to get his tools and move on.
Just as soon as he hands over the
Because
flag.
He's not handing over the flag.
And then he said it was his property, so you
It is
both
not.
agreed that they're his
It's
property.
our family's property. It's been here for years since my dad is.
The tools?
No.
You just told me the
flag.
tools were
Yeah.
his property.
Oh,
So
well,
we need to
if
get
he
his
gives up
property
the
back.
flag and I put
It
it back
doesn't.
on
Here's
my dad's
I'm going to tell you how this is going to work. Either you give up the tools or you go to jail tonight for theft.
I'll do a theft report.
Plain and simple.
Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, they're right here. You know what? This is.
He just has to come up, grab them, and go. And then this is also not this part, but everything else other than that is all civil part. But
Yeah,
it's
he's admitted that he has the flag, and that'll all get handled through civil court and probate.
Well, I tell you what,
of what property goes where.
That is very, very, that's family.
You want to come on up and get him? Pull up. You want to just pull the van up here so you can walk him right out to it? But again, that's why he can be held liable for that through probate.
Tell him not to say nothing to me because he's just gonna
That's why we're here.
We're here.
All right, he said they're over here by the garage. Just no speaking to him, no back and forth. On the back of the truck.
All right, have I lost you guys yet? Back and forth, and wanting to just continually talk and complain and argue, and it basically just boils down to when people don't get their way or things don't pan out the way they want it to, then it's story after story or excuse after excuse after trying to be patient and explain everything as best as possible. So at a certain point, obviously I can't just stand around there all night. So I told the guy, listen, this is what we're going to do. I did my best to be as courteous and, let him say his piece to kind of vent. But at a certain point, we just have to move on.
What's a holdup?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know they were out there.
Yeah, they're in the truck. They're in the bed of the truck. Sorry. Yeah, you could just grab them and.
Let's see if everything's there first.
Well, whatever's in here is in here.
If whatever's not in there, if you have more than the same thing, we'll figure it out when you guys.
Okay. Sounds good. I appreciate you guys' service, man. Thanks for being a peacekeeper.
Professional peacekeeper.
Take care of that flag.
That's always my favorite part there. They tell us, make sure he doesn't say anything to me, but then they have to just get that little sneaky word in there.
Again, hopefully you guys figure everything out.
Thank you, officer.
Yep.
You got everything?
Well, I guess, it's like, come out in the wash. It takes some time now.
Yeah, these things always do, so.
All right, so that was the end of it. The gentleman loaded up the rest of his stuff and took off, and we headed on out of the area. So a lot of this, like I've said all along, it's just people skills. You gotta just be able to talk to people, listen through their problems, and try and make the best out of a crappy situation, all while staying within the legal guidelines. All right, you guys, any of you who have been following me for a while, you are going to recognize these next 2 people right away. If you do, leave it in the comments below. If you don't recognize them, I'm going to leave links right up here above. Click this little card and you can meet my favorite couple and see how they've already been in the vlogs 2 other times within just a couple month period. So you ready for it? Here we go.
because it is definitely not what's going about my neighbor.
Okay.
He is spreading in a row lies. The first lie where he called you was, I have a vicious dog. I had a Sharpie. The Sharpie is a herd dog, and they were vicious, and secondly, she was
Can you do me a favor and just go back on there and sit down?
No.
So, that was the first lie. The second lie was, he was spraying here, and my dog couldn't breathe and died on that. And then he was calling the police and spreading the lie, you have dismantled the dog. We have definitely brought the dog down.
Sir, please stop talking.
We have brought the dog down to Lago Mall, to, how you call it, Banfield,
Okay.
for the letter cremate. They are witness that she was in perfect condition beside that she was there. Then he's going around here in the neighborhood to that neighbor from the 1011 and spreading the lie that Mr. Dennis is verbally and body-wise attacking, which is not true.
Okay.
Then he's telling, that is what I even have recorded, that I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic. I want to have a blood test for to prove it. I'm neither nor. The only addiction I have is tobacco. Then he got accused that he is a drug dealer and take ecstasy, which is not true. He wants to have a blood test.
Okay.
And this thing has to stop, and I want
Is
to press
that-
charges.
There's no charges you can press. All right,
All right.
it's not a crime. So
And
basically,
we're not going to do blood tests for this. This is not something.
said,
Sir, please stop talking. We're trying to have a We're trying to have a conversation, and you're interrupting.
Definitely, I want to have a police report, if you're doing
It's going to
something
be
or
filed.
not.
Well, what we're trying to explain is because you believe that he's saying things to neighbors is not a
No,
crime.
the neighbors are coming to me,
that's fine.
and I have a heart problem, and I don't want to
Can
become,
you just go back, please? Thank you.
and I don't want to get a second heart attack because of these lies.
Okay, but
It
none
has
of
to
this
end
is a crime.
immediately.
Yeah, if you know they're a lie, then just don't let it bother you. People
Sorry,
say-
that one doesn't work.
Listen,
it is attacking me.
Okay.
In this, in
Look,
the
try
United
to call
States,
Daniel
it is
Swan
free of
Jr.
speech. People
Your
can
boss
say whatever
again.
they like.
I woke him up
So whether or not
3
he
times in the
is
morning.
actually saying
You don't like
anything
me,
about
wake it
you
up.
is not something that we can press charges on because we believe that he's talking poorly about you. I can't even prove that, and because and even
I
if
have
that's
I
not
have it
everything
on.
on-
say, hey, you suck.
got
That's a
everywhere.
charge. That's not how it works. There's no crime here that occurred.
I have it really.
Yeah, I
doesn't
have a
matter.
dead dog.
It's not a
A
crime
dead
in nature.
cat.
Do you have any other questions?
No, besides that, you are helping someone who is lying spikes about me.
Okay. Well, remember sticks and stones. Remember that from when we were kids? We just got to ignore it. All right. All right, folks.
Have a nice day.
It'll be documented under a call for service number that's attached to your address. That's all there will be.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everyone. So, did you recognize my favorite couple? Yes, if you did, they are from the Chase Bank call from a few vlogs ago, and then we met them again for a neighbor complaint, and now we're back for another neighbor complaint because the man upstairs is supposedly telling everybody in the neighborhood that he thinks that they're drug users, which, to be honest with you, the other guy, I don't think it's far from the truth. So she was upset about that and wanted a police report. As you could obviously tell from all the times that we deal with them and from how that guy behaves in the background, we just weren't having it. He wasn't the one who called us. She called us. We were there to talk to her, and I just wasn't even gonna have it. He has no part in anything that she has to say. He is a complete freeloading mooch off of her, and his word is completely worthless in these situations. So we just told him to be quiet, and then even towards the end, you can hear him holler in the background, starts name dropping again. He's gonna call Chief Slaughter. He's friends with Detective Jones, yada yada. Same thing he's done on all of the other calls where we deal with him. The guy's just not there. He's just not right. Anyway, so that's what we deal with. Frequent flyers. We see them time and time again, and I won't be surprised if they end up in the vlog another time. To be honest with you, anytime I go to their house, I'm going to add it to the vlog just to keep a track record of how many times me individually goes and deals with him. And that doesn't even take into account for all of the other officers, somebody who goes to their house at another time or complete other shifts where I'm not even working. And just for another update, they are still, as of 2 weeks prior to when I went to this call, still trying to get that stimulus check from the first call that we saw them at a while back. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I missed last week. I'm teaching the report writing class right now. If anybody's gonna comment that I look tired, it's because I am tired. I've been getting up at 6:10 a.m., which for somebody who normally works an evening shift from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., that's rough. That's a little rough on me. So I've been doing that, teaching the new recruit class, report writing. They're gonna hit the road in about 2 weeks. We actually just did interviews today for a whole nother group. So we are doing a lot of hiring coming up. And if you guys are interested, definitely reach out to the department. Like I said, we're hiring a lot. We're doing out-of-state lateral transfers. You do a 2-week class here to just freshen up on Florida laws. Then you're eligible. Prior military, you gotta have at least 60 credit hours. They do prefer the 4-year degree, but it is not absolutely required. So if you guys are interested, you can go to the Clearwater Police website. I'll try to put a link down in the show notes below. If I forget, you can Google it. It's right there on the internet. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for bearing with me in my delay of getting these out. I still have more requests in. They're coming in slowly, just like everything. Everybody is short-staffed right now, so even the records department, it's taken a while to get some of these videos to me. But in the meantime, I hope all of you guys are doing really well. And until the next video, I want you to take really good care of yourselves and stay safe out there.